these guys are basically here to help you out with training, attacking. It's kind of poor design if you ask me, just insofar as they haven't actually told you how to attack yet. They also haven't told you how to break these yet. You'll probably be mucking around for quite a while.
You'll want to hit things with a greater force.
Oh, here we go.
To break one of these boxes, you should jump in the air and then dive down onto it, hands first.
Well, my bad. It does tell you how to do it. It's been so long since I actually played this game with the hints on.
Hey, you found one of my scout flies. I sent 7 of them to each area to look for power cells, but the lurkers must have captured them all.
So that's 7 scout flies for every area. The number of power cells for each area is different. These coming here to the main menu and selecting a power cell usually gives you an idea of how you're going to come across them. Really good for those ones that you've missed and you don't know where to find. The hints are actually fairly helpful. And obviously you've got a counter here for your Precursor orbs as well. The number of Precursor orbs that you can find in each area is fairly distinctly variable. And it also gives you an idea of just how big an area actually is. If you see 200 Precursor orbs, it's probably going to be a fair while before you finish off that area and collect all its content. This is a nice little explanation of what these scout flies actually do. Give you a power cell. Pretty much all comes down to power cells.
Wow! That last scout fly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power cells.
Gotta love her enthusiasm there. This is also doing something else. Just wandering around here is giving the player a fairly good idea of half the point of this game. Quite apart from being a collector file, it's got quite a lot to do with exploration. You've got some really nice views. It's a really nice, friendly area to start off with.
Which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast, break boxes, and even activate some Precursor artifacts when you get near them.
There you go. That is our first introduction to Eco, quite aside from Green Eco, its function is fairly standard for all video games. We have Blue Eco. Eco of motion, as you mentioned, it's going to make you run fast. I like running fast. Probably comes from enjoying Sonic in my younger years.
Increases the time you can use its power.
Now, as Samus so helpfully mentioned there, getting more clusters increases the period for which it's going to work. These reappear as well, so you don't need to worry about running through. But that's going to come into play a lot with puzzles and that kind of thing where you've got a certain amount of time to get to the objective. I'm going to be fairly thorough in this playthrough. I'll let you explain this.
This is a Precursor door. It can only be opened by approaching the door while channeling Blue Eco through your body.
Excellent. So, as I say, I'm going to be fairly thorough in my playthrough of this one. Here we go.
That's a Blue Eco vent. More concentrated than the floating clusters. This vent will give you a full charge of Blue Eco, letting you use it for the maximum time.
Excellent. Alright, so, anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to be fairly thorough in my playthrough of this one. I'm not going to go back to fairly early on in the game if I miss something. It's going to take up too much time, but it should hopefully give you an idea if you're trying to use this as a
walkthrough. The Blue Eco caused the door to open. With Blue Eco, you can breathe energy into all kinds of Precursor artifacts that have lain dormant for years.
It's kind of tricky in this sense, because this is a instructional part of the game. In the game proper, you'd probably be more expecting to have to go around that geyser there to find some Precursor orbs or something similar, but not the case here. But that is the habit you're going to want to try and develop throughout the game, just to make sure you don't miss anything, because there is a lot to collect.
Those Those little green balls of energy on the ground are a type of eco. Pick up 50 small green ecos, or one big green one to increase your health.
Could not have said it better myself, but yeah, that's the total function of green eco. One really cool thing about having a full set of eco is if you've got 50 green ecos, they're going to count for a hit.
You can jump once, then jump
There you
again
go.
in the
So
air
you've still got
to
3
reach even higher ledges.
points of eco. Nice little fulfillment there. And another. But yeah, it's not too critical that you keep that 50 there, but it's going to help you in those dire hours when you're coming across something slightly more challenging. Not something you're likely to come across on Geyser Rock. But and here we go. Interesting. Circle's the confirm button in this one. Very Japanese style.
Good training, boys, but that's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jack? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're, itching to get on with our adventures.
I love the size of his mouth.
Fine. Adventure away, then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
Such love there from Samus. Such love. Now, as you probably noticed in the credits, if you were paying attention, the opening credits, this is made by Naughty Dog. Now, if you are or were a gamer in the 90s, you would have fallen in love with Crash Bandicoot, and if you didn't, you have no taste. So there are some subtle references to Crash Bandicoot in here, just mainly with the art style. So those coils there in Crash, they probably would have hurt you if you touched them. This piranha plant, a really common enemy in the entire Crash Bandicoot series, and even just the art style that they're looking at for this hut, the windows and that kind of thing, you would have seen a lot in Crash Bandicoot in the tribal areas, that kind of thing. So a nice little tribute there to their previous series. Naughty Dog obviously stopped working on Crash after a while, and I haven't really followed it after that. Similar to their history with Jak and Daxter, actually. But
Hey, baby. What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
I love this line.
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
I love this one too.
You don't know what you're missing.
Well deserved.
Listen, if you need something to keep you busy, my father always talked about an ancient precursor pipeline hidden deep underground. Some of these pipes end in vents from which eco flows freely, and some have been capped off so that the eco is sealed back. There must be a way to turn the capped vents on. I traced part of the pipeline back to the Forbidden Temple. Maybe you should look there for some type of switch.
Now, I'm not going to do it very often in this particular run through, but coming to speak to Kira or Samos throughout the entire game is going to give you similar hints like that, giving you ideas of where you can go to get more power cells and what to do next. As I say, I'm not going to do that too much in this run through because I pretty much know where everything is already, and it's going to be a whole lot of double dutching to run back to the hut whenever I want new information.